AITAH. I was invited to a special event on a special day to spend time with a girlfriend and her mother. I accepted the invitation. And then when my boyfriend came up and asked me to do something different, I left my girlfriend and her mother and went off with my boyfriend. This has been troubling me for quite a while, and I'll tell you why. Today is Mardi Gras, and this is a Mardi Gras 54 years ago. I had the invitation to spend the day with my friend and her mother to attend Bacchus and Endymion, which are two very big deal parades in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. And the whole thing with this was that my friend's dad had gotten tickets or somehow had made arrangements for us to sit in the stands and watch these parades. So when you sit in the stands, that's either by invitation or dignitaries, or maybe he got tickets. I'm not sure how this was arranged, but it's special because you get to sit in the stands, in the bleachers, instead of watching the parade down in the streets like the other people. So it gives you the opportunity to collect more beads. The parades, the floats will stop in front of the stands, and it's really a big deal. And I was invited to do this, and I was really looking forward to it. And I had accepted the invitation, and we were on our way to the stands on that day when my boyfriend, who I later married, saw us in the streets walking along. And I guess he kind of, I don't know if he touched my arm or kind of grabbed my arm or something like that. And my friend's mom took her umbrella and hit him because she thought he was some sort of weirdo coming out of the crowds and grabbing me. So she was protecting me. Okay. And at the time, I said, "Oh, no, this is my boyfriend. It's okay." And my boyfriend had asked me to go off with him and spend some time with him. And so I made that decision to not go off with my friend and her mother, but to go off with my boyfriend and spend the afternoon with him. And I don't even really recall exactly what we did. I know we walked around, we looked at the crowds. I don't think we really watched the parade. I think we wound up at Lee Circle and just kind of hanging out and watching everybody. And then later in the day, I returned back to my friend and her mom, and I watched that evening parade with them. I watched that night parade, and it was fantastic. Everything was really great. However, I really don't recall if my friend or her mother had called me out on this, that I was being impolite. I had accepted an invitation from them and then had gone off with my boyfriend. But all of these years later, that's how I look at it. I think it was an impolite thing to do. I think that I was invited to do something with someone, and I had already had those plans. I didn't have any plans with my boyfriend. He knew I was going to be spending the day with my friend and her mom. Yet when I saw him, I just kind of took off and went off with him and left my friend. And it just doesn't seem right, even to this day. And I sometimes think about that program, My Name is Earl, where he was going around trying to make amends to people that he had done wrong to in his past because of karma. He was trying to make everything right. And as somebody who's getting older, I do a lot of reflecting and I think about these things. I think about the things that maybe, I said or I've done, or things that maybe have been misunderstood. Maybe at the time I thought I was making the right decision, thought I was doing the right thing. And then on reflection, I have a different idea of how I handled that. So today I am reflecting and thinking, did I do wrong by my friend? I personally think that I did not do right by my friend. And I'm wondering if sometimes we females, we women, we girls, we teens, we take the boyfriend over the girlfriend. we do that. Is that a natural thing that we do? And is it okay? I mean, just leaving your friends to go off with your boyfriend. So here I am. I'm an old lady and I'm still thinking about this. And to be frank with you, I don't remember if I apologized to my friend or not. So I think I'm going to text her. And even though she may not remember, I'm going to text her and tell her I'm sorry for doing that all those years ago. Fortunately, we are still in contact with one another. We had lost touch over time. I got married, her life moved on, but we reconnected on Facebook and we still talk from time to time. So I think I'm going to take this opportunity, like so many people recommend. Don't let life pass you by without taking these opportunities to connect with people and apologize and try to work things out and straighten things out. So I think I'm going to do that. Let me know in the comments if this has happened to you, where somebody made plans with you and then change the plans to do something with somebody else. Or if maybe it's the other way around, that you have made plans with somebody and then bailed to do something with somebody else. Because I think what we're really telling people when we do that is that somebody else is more important to them. And I really don't think that's the way for us to build good relationships. So let me know, what you think about all of this. And if you are here looking for retirement topics, please take a look around my channel. I have a lot of retirement topics that you might be interested in on Social Security, planning, debt freedom, pros and cons of moving, relationship types of topics, just-in-time retirement, all sorts of things that you might find interesting and valuable. I want to thank you for stopping by. Take care, everybody. I'm Marlene with Rebel Retirement, and I'll see you next time.